Welcome back, my friends. Today I want to share some independently published books that I want to recommend to you. In case you missed it, at the beginning of the month, I think it was on the second day of Bookmas, I shared an indie book club announcement for 2026. We're going to be reading one independently published book each month and chatting about it over on Instagram. I will have that video linked below so you can come over there, find out the details, join me, get excited. And today I'm going to be talking about some indie books that I love. Some of these are authors that are also on the list for 2026 because they've proven themselves. I've loved previous stuff, so I want to read more books. And some of these I have barely mentioned. Originally, I also intended to add on some indie TBR books that I would like to read. But then this list started to get so long, I was like, okay, maybe we'll do that as a different video at a different time. So today I am just sharing indie book recommendations, and there's a variety here. To my knowledge, these are all independently published. I always have this fear that I'll put a book on here that actually has a publisher, so my apologies if I made a mistake, but I believe that they're all independently published. Okay, let's just get started. A variety of genres, not in any particular order. First of all, I want to recommend Quarter Labyrinth by Victoria McCombs because she is one of my favorite authors. She has done some traditional publishing before, but a lot of her books are independently published. This is the first book in a duology. I really want to finish this out. This involves a girl who ends up going into this labyrinth for a variety of reasons. And throughout the labyrinth, it's kind of like a Hunger Games type feel to it. Throughout the labyrinth, there are these stone gods who are stuck in there for some reason or another. And we've got a picture of them as we kind of come across them, as well as their story as to why they're in there. And these are just scattered throughout. It's such a great addition. I'm excited to recommend this book, excited to read book 2, going to be ordering book 2 really soon so that I can physically read it because this was a blast. And we will be reading whatever she publishes next in 2026 for one of the book clubs. I don't remember exactly which month. Watch the video, but wanted to promote her books for sure. And the next one we are also going to be reading from this author in 2026. The book is Saints and Monsters by Ellen McGinty. Our main character is a girl with blue hair and she has a crooked spine. And she's definitely a feisty girl. Right at the beginning of the book, something happens and a bunch of people are poisoned and kind of in a suspended state. So she is going on a mission to try to help them out of this. One of the people is her sister. And as someone with chronic illness, I really like to see some kind of representation of illness or a variety of abilities kind of featured in a book. So if you guys have more suggestions for that, I'd really like to read more. This book has a dragon. Saints and Monsters has a dragon in it. And her newest book, which we will be reading in 2026, also has a dragon in it. And I'm realizing I really like dragon books when done in a way that I like. Next up, another one of my favorite indie authors is Kate Stradling. And my favorite book of hers is The Heir and the Spare, although I have really enjoyed a ton of her books. In this one, we follow the second-born princess. What was her name? Oh, Iona, I think. She was kind of tortured by her older sister as a child, so she got sent off to a boarding school. But for some reason, she needed to hide her identity, so she was pretending she was a pauper for years. And in this school, people treated you based on how much money you had, so she was poorly treated for years. Never said that she was actually the top of the food chain in the school, and one of her top tormentors is now going to be marrying her sister, which she feels is a perfect match. But when this guy comes out to, do the wedding prep stuff, she realizes maybe he's changed and maybe they're not such a perfect match anymore. This book, it really surprised me, actually. I was surprised at how dark it got, but I feel like it was worth it. I think it was done well. Okay, next is another one we will be reading from this author in 2026. Shatona Havig's bookstring series. This one is Clock Tower bound. It is book 2. I think my daughter has book 1 in her room. I love this series. It starts out, there's 2 novellas you can read beforehand or at any point throughout. And then the books are pretty much just standalones. We have this man named Milton. He helps bookstores get out of business. This one, Clock Tower bound, definitely has some like Anne of Green Gables vibes, Darling Desi vibes. I always appreciate how deep her books are. And I also appreciate books about books and bookstores and just making me want to open a bookstore. Like, will I ever? I have no idea. But man, that is a dream. And these books make me feel like, oh, there's so many good ideas on how to make bookstores work. I could probably do it. And so if I ever do open up a bookstore, it will be in big part thanks to this book series. Next is Heart of Red, Blood of Blue by Rebecca Belliston. This one was one that I read like very much the same time as The Heir and the Spare. They were books that I bought for myself for my birthday last year. Just loved it. This one is not really fantasy other than we're kind of just like in a made-up kingdom, but we follow a girl. She is part of the royal family. She is an albino, so she's kind of spent her life hidden away a little bit, but her siblings are kind of all getting killed off by this guy named Bloodless Christoph, and it turns out she's the only one left. And so her father is going to marry her off to this man, like this older man, for political reasons. And that guy isn't the greatest of guys, so she decides to run away, and she runs into Bloodless Christoph. And the book ensues. I flew through this book so quickly. It's one I should have put on my reread list because I went through it so fast. I remember it, but like I forget so much because I just flew through it. Next we have The Starlit Prince by C.F.E. Black. I read this one earlier this year, and we follow a girl who, right at the beginning of the book, I think her father's prize horse gets stolen, and there's like a big race the next day, so he needs this horse. It's kind of like make it or break it for his family. His daughter, the main character, she sees the horse being stolen. She pursues the thief to like some kind of like black market and gets to like the deal after it's happened, and she ends up making a deal with the guy who bought the horse that he will get the horse back, her father will win the race, but she has to marry him, and she wants to help her father, which I just think like a book where I think she's like a late teen, early 20s girl, loves her family so much that she's willing to enter a marriage of convenience for it is a very unique idea. And then she agrees to this, like right off the bat. This is not spoilery, but then she spends the book trying to find reasons to love this guy that she has married. He's very secretive. He definitely has a big secret that he's hiding, but she actually is trying to find like the good in him, which I just thought was very unique. Really appreciated that. Then is a book that I have not really talked about much or enough. It's called The Castle Rose, and I've heard that this is a bit of a Phantom of the Opera retelling, but I have not read that book yet. It is on my list for 2026, so maybe I will see the connection after I actually read that one. But we follow a girl who moves to New Orleans, I think I don't remember why she shows up there, but shortly after she does, she is riding a bus and she like connects with this stranger on the street. I don't know, they lock eyes and have a connection. But it turns out that this guy that she can see, no one else can see, and seems to have been around for a very long time. He is kind of the phantom of, I think it was an old hotel, some kind of building. And she's one of the few people that can actually hear him play the piano. And yeah, it's one that actually made me want to read The Phantom of the Opera. So thankfully I'm going to be doing that soon. My only like mystery on here is The Killer's Therapist. Another one that I read this year, really enjoyed it. It's by Christy Barrett. I need to read more of her books because I know she's written quite a few. If you guys have a recommendation on where to go from here, please let me know. So our main character is a therapist who works with people who have been through really hard times, usually like ex-convicts and stuff like that. But now there are a bunch of murders occurring, and they're all kind of pointing back to one of her former patients who she thought was like reformed, was no longer a criminal. So things are suspicious. And I feel like this one got really twisty at the end. I thought I knew where things were going, and then I didn't know where things were going, which I always appreciate. Next up is The Orb and the Airship by Janelle Leanne Schmidt. This is a fantasy, science fiction, steampunky type book. We follow two boys that are going off to university with a like 200-year-old wizard or something of the sort. I don't remember exactly how old he was. Maybe he hadn't been seen for 200 years. An old wizard anyway. They are going in an airship and it gets captured / attacked by pirates. And that's kind of all I want to say about it. I fully intend to continue this series this year, as well as read more of her books. With all the books I say I'm going to be reading in 2026, I might actually have to do what my channel says that I actually do, and that is just read all day. That's the only way I'm going to get through them all, I think. Next up, I was actually kind of surprised. I was like, I think this book is self-published, and then yes, it is. It is Emma M. Lyon. I have volume 3 here. This is set in 1883 to start. We follow Emma as she comes back to London. She lives in this house called Lapis Lazuli. Her cousin-in-law lives there. He's terrible, but he will grow on you a little bit. A little bit. And Emma, throughout the volumes, makes some friends. It definitely has a bit of a slow start. If you read book 1 and book 2 and you're like not really getting into it, please stick with it, because I think that it really builds up. And the friendships that she forms are just spectacular. I love seeing the friendship group that she forms. And she's witty and funny. She's a little bit snarky. She's pretty much the perfect package. Not that she's perfect, but I really like her. Okay, a fantasy chunker is Blood of the Stars by Corinne Norton. Now, see, I know how to say her name now. Yeah, so this is book 1. I am sad to say that I have not read book 2 yet. I am intending to. We follow, what was her name? Well, there's 2 people. There's Prince Garin. He had a friend as kind of a child, but she disappeared. And then we're also following that friend. Her name is Aliana. I actually don't know. She was kidnapped as a child and used, pretty much bled for her magic by this couple that captured her, but then she ends up getting rescued and things unfold. It's a big book, but I actually flew through it really quickly. How big is this book? Oh my goodness. It is over 650 pages, just barely. Oh, and it does have a pronunciation guide. I forgot about that. Aliana? I think so. Yeah, highly recommend it. It's really cool too because we got like chapter headers based on who we are with. So that was Aliana's chapter. This is, what was his name again? Garen's chapter with a ship. And then there is someone else that we get the point of view of only a few times. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find those chapters. Yeah, and then we've got like the moon and some stars for those chapters. If you like chunky fantasy books, please do not pass this one over. And then we're going like completely opposite. The smallest book on here is a collection of poetry, and it's The Garden That You're Growing by Rachel H. Her books are hard to find. I couldn't get this one off of Amazon even. I think some of hers are, but I could get it from Indigo. She's Australian, so Indigo's in Canada. I think maybe Barnes & Noble would be the equivalent if you're in the States. Otherwise, you can email her and see how you can order it. Yeah, so it's a collection of poetry where I tabbed a bunch of poems They're very, I don't know how to describe them. There's a lot of nature. There's a lot of variety. I read all 3 of her poetry collections this year, and I loved each one a little bit more. Like, I feel like she grew in each one. Also, she aged, like she actually did grow up a bit, and that is reflected in it. I found it very inspiring. I wrote so much poetry this summer. Haven't really been writing any since. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually be able to publish my own poetry collection before my 40th birthday or not. It is still a dream, but it is a fading dream a little bit at this point because I don't think I have enough. But we'll see, I've got a few months. So there you have it. This was my stack. I hope you give some of these authors a try, give some of these books a try. If you're joining in with the Indie Book Club this year, you will have a chance to try out a bunch of these authors. So that's all for me for today. Thanks again for joining me for another video. I will see you guys again tomorrow.